Okay, we're going to show you a little video of Vegas Pro editing a graduation video with two different videos, two different audios, and some little things, special features, special effects, whatever. The graduation program so far, and as you can see here, we have a background with partial opacity, 93%. It looks better with that than 100, and then 100% opacity for the image, and then I'll show you what it does. Fades in, then we do a flip with Zach's name, and then we fade to the regular picture, and then of course this will be bigger. You can see Zach's name in the brochure. And I just need to add a fade. I just need to add this to fade, actually, so it looks good. We'll do that again. And let's see here. Something looked a little funny here. Let's check that out. I'll play it again. That's all right. That's okay. Now let's see that fade in for the video image. I might adjust that, and of course it doesn't look as nice as it typically would on real video, but as you can see how close Zach is zoomed in, and then we add a little section of my video. It flips over there briefly, and let's do it again here. So this is Trina's video, and it fades in him and then back to me. I think it looks good, but right there did not look good, so I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to edit it and see if we can fix it. So what we have is Trina's track, a little piece of mine, but most of it is her track. So I'll show you. Her track is right here. This is all her track. And then it fades to mine real quick. And then back to hers. Now it actually looks better when it actually happens, but doesn't look that great on this. And as you can see, he's so close there, that close. But let's look at what the real video is. Here's the real video. See how far away he is in the real video? We'll play it again. I'm not explaining this real good, but that's how far he was away in the real video. That guy's hat, nothing I can do about it. I try to fade in my shot from a different angle slightly. I don't know if it's any good, but you see how you can see all those people. So let's pause that, and let's go back here and play it, what we actually see. It's very slow, but okay. See how much more zoomed in we are compared, he was further out. Well, I zoomed in, and I'll explain how in a minute. Let's see how that transition is. It does not look good on this. It's not a very good preview. It looks better in person, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But anyway, see how much closer it is? He's closer. So we'll pause this, and you do that by cropping it, and we can zoom out and zoom in a little, and basically you crop the original screen and you add these keyframes. These are called keyframes. You add one here, another one here, depending upon the position. So in this initial position, that's the whole way that it goes, and he's in the same spot basically. As you get closer here, you change the position slightly. Some more. I mean, that's all automatic until you have the keyframe. So in between this keyframe and this keyframe, I only set two positions, and it slowly transitions. And you can watch it glide along as you do it right here automatically. Then I switch to a new position because otherwise it would cut his head off and those kind of things. So, and then we add another keyframe with a new position because the original video might not be in the right spot. And then I just leave it there basically. So that's kind of how that works. And that is adding a keyframe for cropping. Let me find the other video and I'll pause this for a minute and I'll show you I rendered it just so you can see what it actually looks like. Actually, I deleted it out of my recycle bin already, so I guess never mind. And then here's the graduation. Let's see. This is also Trina's video. So zoomed in. And how that was accomplished, same way. See how that was the original video size, and I sized it down that much. And look at all those keyframes there. So each one tracks along, as you can see, to his face, and it moves around. And you transition it as best you can. Like you look here and you say, that's pretty close, that's pretty close, that's pretty close. And then by the time you get here, you're like, we got to move it, which I do. As you can see, and I think there's a thin black line, so I'm going to move this one actually down just a little bit. You can see the line's just slightly over. There it is. So now it's not over. And then the next line is back and further, and you can see it just tracks around compared to the actual video. So that's what you end up with there. And then we go to my video, which I added in here. And you can see these claps. I reduced the volume from 0 to minus something. You can see that right here, minus 5.2. Before we begin. And then I'm going to move this down so I can start to click around a little easier. But okay. At any rate, let's zoom out a little and go over. Then it gets complicated here. I zoomed this in, as you can see here. See how close we are to this guy? So same thing here. Let's look at the cropping. That's full size. Okay, I guess I zoomed in enough. I don't know. So that's actually a full-size video, no keyframes. So next one, though, let's see that. That's just a cut. I had a flip in here, right here. Which is kind of funny because the guy asks,
all kinds of time to make as much noise as you can.
Do you think they listened?
So with that,
no.
let's get started. My Gardner will assist Mrs. Elkanah present her diploma.
Now there's a different space. And here is Zach, and it's choppy, but this is Trina's video. Watching Zach move, and it looks better when it's rendered.
Right? More.
It doesn't really give a good transition in the video, but it actually transitions. It'll look better on the real thing. But now we transition to my video. I'm gonna pause it here. We're gonna look at the special effects for this, or the up close for this. As you can see, where is it here? See how we cropped it there? The original video was up and down, but I moved it to left and right, and I moved that guy's big ugly head in the way. So all of that's different now, and these are the keyframes we added. There's 1, there's 2, kind of moving around with Zach. The video will move. That guy's head's in the way. I moved it up because of his ugly hat. Anyway, then back down a little bit. And Zach's moving around a little. above that was the original video, so that looks better. Up here it's a little close, but zooming automatically. Basically I'm like zooming without having the camera, and that's where we end up there, and that becomes this. Now let's move in our transition. My video fades back to Trina's video. It's delayed. I don't know why. It's just not that good of software. Now it's Trina's video, and then back to mine. And then back to Trina's. And of course, up above is. Looks like there might be something missing. Let's double check. Look, oh, the video's down here. I moved it down to the bottom, so I don't know whose video that is. Looks like it's mine because I went over to that other side, and then it didn't look like there's a transition, but there is. See the transition here? So I have to jump back and forth. Let's try it again. It's just very slow depicting it. It renders much better than the preview. You've just got to know what it does. Yeah, it's just freezing now. It's refusing to play. So this is the kind of stuff you got to work with. I'm going to render this again just for the fun of it, because I want to show you what it actually comes out to, I guess. I don't know. It's really annoying, though. So we do that by opening up a new program, and then we're going to copy the stuff we want to copy over, that we want to see how the transition is. I'm not going to do the audio because I wanted to do it fast. So we highlight what we've copied. This should be a much better preview. I got to research how to make that better. But we'll copy, and then we'll insert a track over here on the new project, and we will paste. That's the same problem, kind of, but let's see if it plays any better up here. So he's walking from Trina, switching to me, my view, and it's like, there it kind of shows it finally. And now it gonna switch to, yeah, just, I don't even know what it did there, but we'll see. I'm gonna render and find. So we'll file, render as, and it's untitled, whatever, render. So it's going to tell us how long it's going to take, and we'll see what that garbage looks like. Here's a slow by slow process of rendering. You can kind of see with all that transition. Let's see what it really does on the video. It looks better there. So when you render it, it moves slowly. I don't know. It makes it complicated to not be a high quality preview. Okay, you see it slowing it down there. I mean, why is it all of a sudden, I mean, now it's going slow. See, it looks terrible. I mean, it moved fast. I think it's into the double. There's a lot of data right here. So then once it gets back to the single data, it moves faster. So the program and this computer just can't handle multiple bits of data, I guess. Like, a lot of data is just complicated for it. Transition there, and 41%. Anyway, so that's the rendering. We're going to play this again just to see if we can get this thing to even play nicely. Yeah, see, it doesn't really look like that. See how choppy it is? Do that again. You just got to know that it worked, I guess. We're going to find out if it actually worked. There is about a second and a half there. Maybe it's not enough time. I don't know. Might have to just eliminate that. Let's see how crappy it looks.
Thank you.
So So before I'm even done rendering, I added a transition just like crossfade like it normally would have. Instead of just leaving that one open, maybe to make it smoother. Let's see if that helped any. I don't know. But let's see if it even shows up better on this. Let's try it. Hell yeah, it's stuck. And then finally.
Randy Vasquez Rodriguez.
I mean, by the time this is way,
Randy
it's right here,
Vasquez
and
Rodriguez.
it's stuck on this, but it's way out past it already. So I just think it's a software issue, but probably those fades are nice. We're at 97% here. Let's see how bad even the original version looked. I made a slight difference with the fade on the bottom here. I moved this. I'm going to close this. What I did is I moved this over. I added a fade here and then added a fade here. And then it'll be ready to render. But let's look at without that. We're going to undo that. Let's look at what it looks like without it. So hang on. Okay, so here's the untitled movie that I just made out of this, just a test sample. To try to render the whole thing, it just takes forever. But I'm not explaining this well. My brain is working faster than my words. But let's see. No volume, but let's see. It looks good so far. I should fade here in a second. Nice fade. You see that? That looks way better, doesn't it? Look, fade back. Yeah, doesn't that look better? I mean, it just looks way better. At any rate, that's how it looks. So there's a few switches, but there's nothing I can do about it because what I was eliminating was there's a pole in the way. That big pole for her is in the way. And that was in the way for me sometimes. So I have to crossfade. But doesn't that look a lot nicer when rendered than this preview? That would be a big question mark. Let's see. Let's just look at the preview again. And you'll see.
Randy Vasquez Rodriguez.
I mean, it's so hard to render. You just got to know what you're doing because it was like way over here and it was not even that point on the preview. So you got to be real careful. Fix your transitions. Fix your transitions. Audio, there's 2 tracks, but they're timed perfectly. This was real low, and I had to add for when Zach accepts his award. That was up here. This is clapping, and I slowly transition out of it. But I'm going to tinker with the fading like this. Maybe that'll eliminate some choppiness. Because, see, I don't fade this right here. So you can see the underlying frame is solid. It never fades in. I don't know. So let's add a fade in here. We'll add a fade in right here instead. Maybe I should have done that. So it looks like it might be a smoother transition. Let's play it. It's hard to show, so who knows. But like right here, it fades it back in. I don't know if I should split it and add it back in. Probably. I should probably split it right here and then add a fade in. So what happens is if I split here, that might be the wrong spot. Okay, it's the wrong spot. If I split where the fade ends, if I split where the fade in ends, it's a maximum fade in here. Maximum point here, I want to start fading out of this one by the time it gets there to 0. So I don't want to put the fade here because it'll fade out and be black. So let's play that one. Yeah, just slightly smoother. Anyway, that's the complexities of Vegas Pro. Just trying to do a graduation video with 2 video tracks, 2 audio tracks, and some effects and transitioning and the limitations of the program and fading and everything else.